Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use. So today this is going to be more of a newer player friendly video and we're going to be talking about the Stradavar. So the Stradavar recently got buffed and I'm glad that it did because the buff that it got makes it now better than the regular Soma. It is placed at a slightly higher MR, but I would say that there are going to be a lot of players that would be interested in a weapon like this because it is kind of two things at once. It's the full auto, which is pretty self-explanatory and very Soma-like. And it's the semi-auto, which has a lot going for it. It is worth noting that the semi-auto has a quirk where if you click as fast as you can feel the chunkiness of the fire rate, but if you kind of time it with when the shots should be happening, you actually get a faster fire rate out of this weapon. So this weapon is very not macro friendly. If you're going to use like a rapid fire macro in the semi-auto, not really going to work. You're going to have a little bit more of a specific macro for that if you were to want to do that, as I know a lot of people use macros for semi-autos. It is not advised with this weapon because you kind of need to time it. With that, let's talk about the build. It's a pretty basic build. This is no Forma. Obviously at like MR8, if you can help it, you would like to not spend Forma on a weapon, and this, like the Soma, comes with 2 V polarities, making this build incredibly cheap to put together. Malignant Force, if you're MR8, I can trust you that you have the capability to go get this mod. It comes from Corrupted Vor in the Void. Super easy to get. All of the dual stat poison mods are incredibly accessible. Just go farm all of them and get a set. They're super useful. Along with that, Vigilante Armament's easy to get. The hardest mod here to get is probably Split Chamber again, but Split Chamber is, like, if you're MR8, you've probably run across it. You almost certainly have run across it, and if you haven't, I'm sure you can ask somebody for one of them. And then other than that, you might not have a Serration maxed at MR8, rank 9, rank 8, whatever. It's going to be pretty close to what you're going to see here. With that, let's get started. This test is pretty simple for this weapon. I am going to try and use both fire modes as well as I can, but I think I'm going to open with semi-auto and try and get these guys out of the way. The number one thing about the semi-auto mode is that it's really efficient and you don't have to reload because it doesn't use extra ammo or anything to utilize the semi-auto fire. Your bullets just do more damage. And obviously you can use the full auto. And the full auto is going to be better for proccing status on harder targets like those bombards, where you would want to strip some of their armor first in an ideal scenario. Ooh, did not realize he was that close to me. Or if you're just spraying. But, like, full auto is not a big deal. If you just hit him very hard, get some of that armor off. There you go. Yeah, the versatility of this weapon, now that both fire modes are good, is there. And I think a lot of people will be able to enjoy that. Because this weapon, because of its ammo capacity, if you were full auto all the time... Oh my god, I missed one. There we go, he's dead. If you're full auto all the time, you kind of run the risk of running out of ammo, but because if you're getting low on ammo, you can just be like, alright, super efficient mode, go. Then that usually will never happen to you. But yeah, it's actually really solid now. It doesn't take any Forma to get to a really solid place. Obviously, if we look at the build, there is room for another mod. There are a million options that are totally fine for that. You can use heavy caliber. Like, there's so many ways to go that are all, like, perfectly acceptable. Like, another elemental, kind of whatever you want. I, myself, would probably go with, like, the full Toxin elemental if I was going to put more Forma into this weapon. But yeah, at like the end game, of course, there are going to be better machine guns than this. But yeah, the Stradavar is really solid now. If you're a new player and you're like kind of in the mid, or a newer player, I guess at MR8, you're not quite new anymore. If you're MR8 and you're looking for like a solid machine gun, the way the Stradavar is right now is pretty good, and I would definitely advise you to pick it up, which I'm very happy I can say now, because when this weapon was released, oh man, was it bad. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow.